Okay, because of the trigger words, I'm gonna let you hear that it is her dream at the beginning, and I'm gonna try and say it really quick to try and save on time. Okay, but here it goes.
All right. I had a dream. Um, where was it? um, me and my mom was in this building, I guess, with other kids and moms and all that. And I guess we're there for a play or something. I have no idea. And it was like a mother and a daughter, something. I have no idea. And then I was like, well, I didn't know if the mother can be in it, but it was like a cheer thing. And I was like I had no idea like how to play. Like I didn't know the routine or anything yet. And they like went. Well, I was like asking like other people. I was like, "Hey, can my mom join like the thing, and everything?" And the other moms were like, "No, she can't," and all this and whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask you. I'm like, my mom can do it, whatever. And then I went to the person who like is directing it and everything, and they're like, "Oh," they looked at each other, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead, whatever." Like this two directors, and then and then um, what is it? I can't remember right now. We went on uh the stage, and there's other kids, whatever. And my mom, I guess she didn't get on or whatever, and so I was went to go learn it, whatever, and then they went through like one time, and it was like I didn't know how to make poses. Like I don't know how to do their poses and all that. And because there's like very few, it was on the top, like for the second row, and on the first row, it was like people on the ground like doing dances, like you do like an end of a routine, I guess. And I was like, what? And I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna just do top row, whatever. Not top row, but like where people are standing there dancing, you know, they're not doing on the ground. And
Some were standing in back. Sorry. Some were standing in back and some were on the ground dancing up front. And she was like, I'll do the one staying on the back. Um, okay. I'm going to let you listen so you know it's her dream as far as you can. And she's trying to think or how to put it in her words.
so I was trying to copy the second row, and no, it's like yeah, the second row at the back. Um, and we get to practice like one time, like for me to be in it, whatever, something like that. And curtains opened, whatever, and I'm trying to do it, and they look like they were not dancing. They were just like laughing and giggling. They were just like skipping around and all that. Like they're doing nothing. Um, and I was like trying to make dances. I was like, what? But after that, it kind of switched to like we're in a um, I guess a trailer kind of thing, whatever, and everyone, like kids are in there and all that. Um, my mom wasn't in there though, but I think it was just me and kids, and there's like one adult, whatever, and that like they're They watch out for us and all that. And I guess I had a friend that
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit because of trigger words. I'm going to have to stop and listen and say it, but it's a dream you're going to want to hear. So she had a friend. She was in this trailer, right, with all the kids and the adult. And she had a friend that was in there with her, but she was sad because she had a friend that had passed. Okay. And there was a boy that was walking up the steps to the trailer with like a fire starter thing, like paper in his hand. And she explained it as like a can, and it had a hook at the top of it. And like fire came out of the bottom of the hook where the can was. So it was like a can, like a soda can or something, a can, and it had a hook, a metal hook at the top, and then and he had paper or something. And she noticed it. So this boy was trying to light the trailer on fire, and she pushed him out, like, what are you doing, get out, go. And then she tried to tell the adult that was in charge, the director or whatever, about it. And the person in charge, the adult, was like, it's fine, it's fine. And she just didn't understand, and so she pushed the guy out. And she was like, everyone get out, run. And as soon as they started running and she had said that, it like blew up, and there was smoke and fire everywhere. The fire starter blew up, she said. And there was just smoke and everything everywhere, and fire. And the friend that she had in the trailer with her, she said, I knew that the friend was like a leech. She called her a leech to the boy that was trying to start the fire. And so they were connected somehow. So when the boy had started the fire and he died, that they both died in the fire or something, because there was a connection there or something like that. And she felt bad because she thought it was her fault that the fire started, because she pushed the boy out, and that maybe something had actually happened and it started it or something like that. Okay, so she said that she was running and some people were following her. She thought some of the kids or some people were following her, and she got into this room and the door was stuck or something. Okay. She said she broke through the door and got to the other side, but because all the people looked like they were about to pass out, like from the smoke, that all the kids like were about to pass out from the smoke or something. But she said that when she opened the door, she was looking and she was like, I don't understand how y'all are suffocating, because she looked on the other side, there was no wall. She was like, there's nothing here. Like, I don't understand how y'all are suffocating, because there's no wall keeping everything in. They were just like trapped in their own like area. They didn't know how to get out or something, and they were suffocating from it. And she was like, but there's no wall. There's nothing keeping you in or something. And so they were like on the other side of the door, and there was no fire there. They're on the other side of the room or something. There was no fire there on the other side. Okay, and so she was like, she's saying there's a fire, y'all need to get out. And some people started walking out. Okay. And she said the other people that got out, the kids or whatever got out, they were waiting for this other person to come. And she said it was a woman or a girl, and she was bigger, and she hadn't come out yet, and she kept looking like at the wall or a case or something, and looking at their sign. She said their sign, it had like staples all over it, like this sign. And there's a bunch of staples. And then she was looking at this trophy case or something. So that trophy case was like memories, like good job or something. And it was memories that she was looking at, like longing for, like wishing. It feels like wishing that it could be like that, like everything's changing, right? She said it was like a coffee shop, like a drink shop where they make drinks. It was like a cafe, she said, is where it was that she was standing and looking at this like thing on the wall, the sign on the wall, a poster or something, and then the trophy thing. So my daughter was trying to get her out, and she kept looking at it. So she was like, she wants that poster, she wants that sign. So my daughter grabbed it off the wall and she was like, come on. And the girl was like, I'm just going to stay here. So again, she grabbed the poster, she ripped it off, and she was like, okay, I got it. Like, let's go, let's go. And the girl was like, it's fine, it's fine. And the girl was like, no, no, it's fine. I just want to be here. I just want to pass. Okay. Like it would be easier just to go, Pat, right? So my daughter was saying to her, like, you don't want to think that way or do this. I don't even know where you go after you give up like that, right? I don't know. And I remember my daughter saying, it's almost like I did know, like if you're saved, you're saved, like whatever, but I didn't want her because it's a gift, like life or whatever, right? So she was like, God has plans. God has plans for you. Like don't stop short. Okay. So my daughter goes, I used to think that way, but God took it away from me. You don't have to live that way. Okay, so what she's saying is that I knew, even though I didn't like want that to happen, I'm trying not to. I'm trying to tell her not to. Um, that I knew that it was just sad because she was cutting it short, and God's like if they're saved, like God's like, I had plans, but He knew when He saved them that you know, and listening to her, um, it reminded me of that no scheme of the devil, like um because it's a torture of the devil, right? It's a scheme of the devil to take, nothing can pluck you out of his hand. So it just reminds me of that. No principalities, no schemes of the devils, no, can others separate me from the love of God, um but it doesn't make it okay, like don't like, right? Okay. So then she said, I stayed with her, like stayed back with her. And she goes, this is my daughter. She goes, I stayed back with her and I collapsed to my knees, went down to my knees, and I clasped my hands and I started praying. And I knew it was a dream at that point. She said, I knew it was a dream. She says something about it. She had another dream where she started doing something and then everyone started copying her and doing it with like around her, and like they went to heaven. Like everyone went to heaven and she was like, "Oh, people are going to copy me doing this or something and they're going to go." Like she's like, "Okay, I just got to do this. I just got to do this. Focus." So then she said that she laid out on the floor and she covered her face and she laid out on the floor and she was praying like, Father, like God, like put a shield around her, put a shield around her so the fire won't touch her, put a shield around her so the fire won't touch her. And then she said it reminded me, or it reminds me of the three Hebrew boys in the furnace, like in the fire. And she goes, hey, she goes, it reminds me of like where three are gathered or two or three are gathered in my name, then I'm in the midst of them, right? Kind of like in the furnace in Daniel. She said, and as I was laying there, like shielding or like praying, she goes, I saw a red string. And she goes, it reminded me at the beginning of the dream where the guy and the girl, I knew they were hooked together somehow with a string and they both passed, right? Um, she said, but I was laying there praying and there was a red string. She said the ones that passed with the fire, that they had like a tie, like a soul tie, or they had some kind of tie and connection. Like she said, like they were still in sin, like they were still in bondage. They didn't ask for forgiveness, like they weren't saved, right? She said, so they died in sin. So died in their iniquities. They died in sin. And then she said there was a red string and there was another string or something. And I said, the red string reminds me of like when the spies were in the city and then they gave the red string to Rahab and said, hang it out of your window. And then when they come in and take the city, that anyone that's inside her home will be safe because of that red string, right? But who's the representation? What was that foreshadowing of the red string? That's Jesus. That was the repetition, the foreshadowing of Jesus Christ and his blood, the red string that's saving us and shielding and protecting us, right? And then she goes and she laughed and she said that would go with the plan of me putting a shield around her. Okay, so she said people had passed in her dream. Okay. Okay, this is part 3. I have tried and tried and tried to put this out. Something does not want this going out. So listen, this is a good one then. because this is like I have tried and tried. So you just, oh gosh. Okay, I have tried and tried. Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna go back so you can hear my, no. Did I put my dream on? No. Okay, so you can hear my dream because I think that's where it cut off at after my daughter's. Okay, so it's just going to start for you. Okay, so the reason, one, I know that dream meant something, and that's why I wanted my daughter to share it. But also, because while she was having that dream, and when we woke up, she was telling me about it, and I was like, and I listened. I was like, that's really weird because I just woke up from a dream. I said my dream. I was with my daughter, and it was like just darkness. It was just gloom, like gloom or darkness. And I was talking to my daughter, and there was a whole bunch of funerals. There was just funerals, and I knew that she knew the people, like it was her friends or it was people, you know. Um, Not that I'm saying that people she knows right now is just in the dream. It was people that she knew in that dream that it was their funerals.
I forgot. I remember I was crying in my dream, whatever, because I didn't want her to die. Because I knew my friends that died, and I was like blaming myself for it. Because I was like, man, if that didn't happen, I'm like, I can't tell them I did that, whatever. Like I started it or something.
Because you thought you started it, we pushed him out, so he went and started the fire, and then maybe it triggered him to fall, and then that thing went off. She was saying that thing that went off was something like a can, and it had a hook at the top with fire.
Fire, it was at the bottom of the hook.
It was the fire was at the bottom of the hook, so it was like a can, and then it had a hook coming out of it at the top, and then at the bottom there was fire. Like, I don't know. Okay. And then so um so I was talking to her, and we were in black, and she was going to these funerals, or we were going to these funerals, or she was going to these funerals, and I was like, it's okay. um I was telling her it's okay. You know, it's okay to go in there and go and you know, you can pray, or you can just sit with them, or you can talk, or but you can cry. You know, you can cry with them, and you're like lifting them up. Like when someone mourns, you mourn with them. You know, when they're crying, you cry with them, and you show your heart and compassion and Jesus through that. Like you just show that, like it's a way to know I'm in this with you, and I feel your pain, and I'm here, but we're not alone. You know, you're not alone. We're not alone. So it's okay to cry and cry with them. And then I woke up. Okay, so that we woke up from those dreams late. Remember I said we hadn't felt good, so we were laying around and sleeping in and all this other stuff. And we woke up from those dreams September 3rd, 2024. And then later on that evening, I came across, I guess, where something happened in Georgia in the high school. And I don't know if those dreams pertain to that or something else. So just pray for the families that had loss. They are, pray for strength and guidance, and that they come to Jesus if they don't know him. And if they are, that Jesus will just lift them up and give them strength in this time. And then pray protection over our children, that nothing else happens, whatever that dream, those dreams were. Okay, that we just shared. Okay, this is my 6th or 7th time recording this. I'm going to try it a different way. I'm recording it on another device too, so you may not see me. I may have to upload it differently. This is what I'm going to say about it quickly because it's not working. On the 4th of September, I was giving Interstellar. Okay, I'm going to put the definitions and things that I learned about it after this, and you're going to have to read them because it's not uploading. Okay, but it reminds me of the rapture. It reminds me of us traveling through stars and meeting him in the clouds and then traveling through stars. We know that when Jesus comes, it's going to be like with a loud boom and his voice and thunderings and quakes and earthquake. And he's going to rip open time and space. He's going to rip open time and space to come and get us, right? Okay, so that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of just time slowing down. So he can do everything. He's going to like grab us and snatch us up real quick. Like he's going to like take us, but he can just slow down time. We work with a God that has created time. And he's outside of time and space, and he's created everything. So it just reminds me that he's like, could he? I mean, he could, but is he going to like slow down and stop time and grab us all up, and then all of a sudden when we're gone, then time's going to just speed up and start again, and then sudden destruction, everything's going to be going on, because there's going to be things going to happen that he's got to snatch us away from, okay, really quick. But it also reminds me of I've had dreams about portals and wormholes and things like that, rapture dreams, okay? And it reminds me of when that happened, when time stood still, and it's Joshua 10:13. So in Joshua 10:13, it says, "So the sun stood still and the moon stopped till the nation avenged itself on its enemies. And it is written in the book of Jashar, the sun stopped in the middle of the sky and delayed going down about a full day." About a full day it delayed going down. I'm going to read it in another version for you really quick. And the sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? Is it Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and hasted not to go down about a whole day. Okay, and God gave me Interstellar, like I said, September 4th, 2024. And I had to look it up. And what you're going to be seeing, these definitions and completely what it is what I found. Also, it reminds me of like in Daniel where it says that we will be traveling through this, like we're going to shine as brighter than the stars in the firmament, like in the sky, in the heavens, right? And that's just what it reminds me of. It's just what it reminds me of. That things will be coming down and people are going to see things happening and be around things that happen that they have no clue coming from space. People are already seeing things, demons and everything working that way. Okay. But also we're going to be traveling like with the Lord through these galaxies, because a lot of people, even my son and myself, have seen space and the galaxies and traveling in the stars. So praise God. If you don't know Jesus, he's coming. He's coming soon. Know him. He's the only safety you have. He loves you. He died for you. He rose again. And he's coming back. And he's coming back soon. Just come to him. Just believe and come to him. Put your faith in Jesus. Put your trust in Jesus.